What's up, y'all? This is Henry from the PSI Defense Channel coming to you with another video. Happy Labor Day weekend, y'all. And since I have all this extra time, I'm going on a video streak. Bring some hot content to y'all. So as you can see, I got my T 8.1. I guess I'd call it an SMG, even though it's not a machine gun. It has an SMG look. I actually have that thing running to perfection. I did the regulator modifications. And I also, one of the things that I was talking about, mismatched heat core or air chamber, is with these older Tiberius markers, the ones that come with the black quote unquote steel bolts. You probably can't see it, but the air chamber stem is ribbed. Listen. I hope you can hear that. It's ribbed. So I noticed that when I use these as opposed to the smooth ones, I get more of a drastic FPS fall off with each shot. So I purchased a new one from, of course, Rockstar, my favorite parts website for these markers, and fitted it to my T8.1 SMG along with my regulator modifications I showed you on the last video. So I think I'm ready to do some testing with the CymruTec 16 gram magazine. We're going to go ahead and fire a comparison of 8 HP 68s versus standard 12 gram HP 68s out of a T8.1 magazine. We'll go ahead, do some velocity testing. And at the end, I've got a little treat for you guys. All right, here we go. So to keep it even, with the CymruTec mag, you have to pierce it before you insert it into the marker. You don't have to, but for some reason, it's 16 grams CO2. Nicholas John, who's the lead engineer for CymruTec, said that the higher pressure makes more CO2 escape while piercing. So it's easier to pierce while it's outside of the marker. You can pierce it quicker. I guess I'd have to work on my technique with the magazine in the marker, but you can pierce it. You lose less gas with the CymruTec mag, piercing it outside the marker. So that's what I'm going to do with both magazines to try to keep it as scientific as possible. So piercing the T8.1 mag. Lost a little gas there, but okay. T8.1 magazine, 12 gram CO2, HP 68s. 395. That smooth bolt does make a difference. 345. 315, 289, 262, 247, 224, 160, 196. That's it. Guys, gonna do the same thing with the CymruTec mag. All right. Now the key here. Oh, I'm short around. Key here is to slap it in. All right. Over 400. 368. 333. 314. 294, 266, 259, 248. Here we go. So despite the little bit of CO2 that I lost with the 12 gram CO2 when I was inserting the mag, I mean, it was really negligible in my opinion as far as what you normally lose by piercing it when you hear it. The CymruTec did seem to yield a lot higher FPS and not as much as I thought it would, being that we were riding with 4 more grams of CO2 as opposed to the 12 gram CO2 cart. But there was an increase. I'd have to do some mathematics to see if the dollar amount was worth the increase, or I'm sure for paintballers at much lower FPS, they would get many more shots because just for the simple fact you have so much more CO2. And there's possible that different manufacturers of 16 gram CO2s, have different standards of fill and PSI and whatnot, because it just logic would tell you that 4 more grams of CO2, you could turn up your markers and sustain higher FPS for a lot more shots. But either way, even if there was no difference, if that was just a 12 gram CymruTec CO2 mag, I would highly recommend it. For one, the quality is excellent. His prints are superb. They are shipping from the UK, but didn't take terribly long. What is that? Royal Mail has some really great tracking. They have a website. The tracking number takes you. They have a really good system for Royal Mail. And he's also FedExing now if you want to pay for, if you need your stuff ASAP. We got Nicholas, we're supporting you, bro. Keep cranking out new stuff, man, because we really look forward to what you got coming next. So, did experience an FPS jump, more power, not as much as I was expecting. I will say I did notice the reason why I am using my T8.1 SMG as opposed to the FSC that I just got up and running was because with the Grimburg FSC barrel, the CymruTec magazine for some reason didn't feed properly. It didn't feed joules really well through that. It would feed one and wouldn't feed another one. And I'm not sure if maybe it was a spring. I don't know. It's the same spring as in the T8.1. It feeds in the T8.1 just fine. It feeds in FSC barrels and eBay barrels and Lapco barrels, as well as any other standard barrel. But as you know, the Grimburg FSC barrel has a proprietary breech that he designed for a lot less jams with only joule rounds, and CymruTec magazine at this time doesn't really play well with it, which is fine. It is a beta version of the magazine, which speaks volumes to the quality already since it was just a beta. I'm a big fan, so check out CymruTec, check out Grimburg, all great companies. Not to say that they're the only companies, but that's what I'm talking about today. I promised you guys a surprise at the end of the video, so sit tight while I said it. All right, guys. We're going to do another steel baking sheet. This is, the reason my wife is letting me destroy this is because it is too large to fit in our oven. Now this is name brand, Wilton, steel, double wall, very thick, pretty heavy too, steel pan. It's not one of those thin aluminum type jobs. It's actually one of those really heavy steel. It's never been in the oven, but I'm gonna blast a hole with that. Getting over 400 FPS, it should be very simple. So let me set this up. It's kind of big, it barely fits in my trap, so I have to rig it with a vice grip and everything. And also, you guys know I had a friend of mine sew that Teflon flap in the back of there. My friend's name is Irene. She's a seamstress. She is a deacon in my church. And her father, I don't know if you know who Deacon Eulish Rhodes is, but he just passed away a couple weeks ago, and he lived to be 100 years old. Shout out to Deacon Rhodes. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to my pops, who was a Vietnam veteran in the Air Force for 26 years. Happy Veterans Day to all your friends and loved ones and thanks everyone for your military service and your sacrifices. All right, I'm gonna set this up. A few of them bounced off, but as you can see, we made short work of that. It did penetrate, and you can see how legit that steel is. Okay, just for kicks, got one more T8.1 mag, got one more CO2 I'm dying to burn. Let's get at it. The results, obliterated. The ones that didn't get through, you can see, caused substantial trauma. And I wish you guys could feel this. I can't even bend this in because it is a thick. There you go. It is a really heavy gauge steel baking sheet, but as you saw, some of those Grimburgs just flew through there like Swiss cheese. Look at the edge. Some of those good double wall air gap pans. See that? There you have it. If you guys got any doubts that your air marker shooting at 35 and up joules could cause substantial damage to an intruder, or that you could stop somebody who's coming at you with some other kind of weapon. Hey man, shot through jeans into stuff, and Felix, aka Junior Vasquez, he shot through fabric into sides of ham, ham shoulders, and yeah, these aren't no joke. They're dangerous, so be careful. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. I'm gonna come out with more dope content for y'all. Make sure you guys show love to somebody. God is love. Forgiveness is the way, y'all. Take care of each other.